Hey everyone, my name is Shlok Gupta and I welcome you to Shlok. Well, if you are watching this video, there are very high chances that you have gone through the entire journey of making sure that you are able to get into something great in United States of America. And now there's only one thing left, and that is getting the student visa or any other kind of visa at the US Embassy in India. So I'm somebody who has been through that process and I have lived through it. And I'm somebody who got his visa approved just in 10 seconds. Yes, my visa was approved in just 10 seconds. So in this video, I am going to share you the entire journey, what happened during the visa process, how you should be ready, what are some of the things you should take care of, and what are some of the things you should definitely not be doing. So do watch this video till the end. So after you have got your appointment, you would notice that you get appointment for 2 days. The first day, which is more of a biometric, and the second day is the main interview. So the first day is extremely chill. You honestly don't need to do anything except carrying all the important documents with you. You need to make sure you have your DS-160. Then he asks for all my documents. So there's no point of giving the entire folder that you're carrying with yourself. Your passport and anything else that is required. You just go there, wear whatever you want. By here, whatever you want means something which is decent, and then you can just go ahead and give your biometrics to them. That's all. They won't ask you any question. Nothing will happen. You just have to give fingerprint impressions of all your fingers and all your thumbs on their trackpad, and you'll be out of there. That's all about the first. The second day, the big day, is actually the more important day. First thing which is very important about the second day is that you need to ensure that you are dressed properly. I would highly recommend you to not dress like this at all. Don't wear t-shirt, don't wear jeans which have lot of holes in them, don't wear your slippers. I literally, when I went for my visa interview, I saw somebody come in slippers for the visa interview. They were of course rejected. So make sure you are dressed properly. You should be comfortable, but at the same time, try to wear a formal shirt, pant, belt. If you want, you can put on a tie also. That's completely optional, but make sure you are well groomed. You should look like that you are actually going to become a student in United States. So the first impression, that is the how you look, how you're dressed up, is very important. And you have to ensure that you are dressed very properly for the interview. Another important thing is that there's no point of reaching 1 or 2 hours before your actual time to the consulate, because there is no way they are going to let you in. Actually, when I went to the Kolkata Consulate, there was a huge line on road. They were not even letting you go inside the first door. So everyone who had reached early was actually standing on road, don't know where to go, whether it's raining or not raining, they won't let you in. So no need to go too early. I would recommend that reaching 15 or 20 minutes before your interview is actually a good thing to do. One thing is very important, that you need to ensure that all the important documents you carry for the visa interview are actually arranged in a systematic way in a folder. A lot of time what happens is that we have everything all over the place, and when we reach to the counter and the interviewer start asking for random document and we don't know where they are, so there are a lot of chances we lose our confidence. So you need to make sure that doesn't happen to you. So you need to know where each of your document is in a proper formal folder. Your passport should be there with you. Ensure that if you have an old passport, like before this, if you ever had older passport, do carry that also along with you just in case they require it. It is better to be always over prepared than under prepared. I actually used a rubber band to tie both of my passports together because I had multiple passports. I had an old passport also. So that is actually a very desi jugadu way by which you can ensure that both of your passports stay together and you don't lose any of them. One critical piece is that phones are never allowed inside the consulate. So if you are carrying your phone, it is better to have a guardian along with you or a friend along with you who can keep your phone, or you can do what I did. So there was a pan wala shop literally right outside the Kolkata Consulate where I went for my interview, and that pan wala shop was actually running a locker, and he just took 50 rupees for 1 hour, and everyone was depositing their phones there. So that is exactly what I did, but you need to make sure that phones are not allowed. So don't carry anything on which you will have to rely on your phone in the end. Remember that. So as I reached there for my interview, I saw there were so many people there, and everyone was extremely nervous because getting a US visa is really hard. And everyone was nervous. They were chatting with each other. I started chatting with each other and other people. But honestly, I was making sure that I was away from people who were getting rejected and moving out, because it would have really affected my confidence. So I ensured that I kept my confidence intact. At the same time, I was less nervous and I was chatting with some people nearby. So then after that, I started moving towards the consulate. So there was a huge line, and I had to go through the huge line. And when my time arrived, my time was, I think, 1:15. So at 1:15 only, I was let in. The first thing, the most important thing I observed was just to get inside the consulate, there was a big metal heavy door. And honestly, just pushing that big metal heavy door was too much hard work. That is where I lost some of my confidence. But as I was able to push it inside and use all my strength to get inside, I got my confidence a little back. So after I got in through the metal detectors, there was the security area, and it was exactly like the way it happens at the airports. So there was metal detector, then there was a tray next to me. I had to keep anything that would have been sensed by the metal detector on the tray. Although I'm not allowed to carry anything, but all the documents that I had, I kept it on the tray. The guy there, he actually checked the documents if I'm carrying proper documents or not, and then I was patted all the way from up to down. It was exactly like airports, so the security was very high to ensure. So it is important that you ensure that you don't carry anything which is electronic. Just try to avoid it. It's better to not take something like that inside, just to give it up at the security counter. After that, everyone along with me was moved to a waiting area. So in that waiting area, there were 3 things checked. Firstly, my face identification was taken. Second thing is my DS-160 was checked. And third thing is my passport was checked. So after the waiting area, I had to wait for around, I think, 15 to 20 minutes. And that's when I got a chance to move to the main room. So yeah, it literally took 20 to 30 minutes before I could get into that main room. So the main room is the one where the interview happens. At Kolkata Consulate, it was like a railway counter, ticket counter. So there were a lot of windows, I think 5 or 6 windows, and behind each window there was a visa officer who was sitting, who was taking the interviews, and everyone else was in a queue. And there were kind of check-in counters at all the visa booth. And after a slot was open, the next person was sent to that particular check-in counter and for the interview to that particular visa officer. So there was a long line, so I kept waiting. I keep seeing that people were just going, they're giving their interviews. Some were happy, some were sad. It was kind of a mixed bag. I was nervous, but I was making sure that I stayed confident and I stayed truthful to what I am. So soon my number came and I went to the visa officer. And the first thing I did, and you must also do, is wish them. So I just said, hey, good afternoon, visa officer. How's your Friday going on? Just try to be confident. Just don't act robot. Just try to make sure that you look confident. You look a good communicator. Ask them how's their morning going on. It could have been busy. They must be doing a lot of work. They are stressed. A lot of people are just coming back to them. And they're taking a lot of interviews. Just make sure that you ask them how they are doing. Be concise, nothing very long. Be confident, but do greet them and ask them how they are doing. My visa officer felt really nice and he greeted me back and he told me that as it was a Friday, it was going well and he was excited about the weekend. So he was very chill about it. But in the beginning, I was able to set a good tone with him through good introduction. they just need the important document at that point of time. So I just gave my DS 160, my service fee receipt, my visa appointment letter, I-20 and passport as well. So the first question he asked me that why am I heading to USA? Of course, I gave him my I-20, so he knew that I am a student, I want to pursue my higher education, but still he would ask that. It's a very obvious question. So in a very precise way, I just said that I am heading to USA to study at Washington University in St. Louis for their full-time MBA program. Make sure that you're very concise, you're very precise, and no need to tell an entire story out of your answers. The next question he asked me was that you come from an engineering background, then why are you doing an MBA? Well, there are very high chances that if such a tricky question is being asked, somebody might get a little bit nervous, but honestly, I had prepared all my answers in advance. I knew exactly what to say. I told them that, yeah, I understand that I have a lot of experience in the tech sector. I have worked as an engineer, but now I want to explore the business side of the tech sector. That's why I want to do an MBA. So again, a very short and concise answer. And that's all. That's what he asked to me, because I looked confident and I was giving very short, precise and confident answer. He really didn't care about asking any more questions. And he just said that congratulations, your visa is approved. So it was not more than 10 seconds of question and answer round. I had imagined the most worst case scenarios. I had prepared for myself for all kinds of questions and answers, but it literally lasted for 10 seconds. And I feel that because I was very prepared and I was very confident in front of the visa officer, that's why it took very short time. So this is my biggest takeaway, that one has to be very confident, not overconfident, but confident. So that's all. There's nothing much to stress about. Just make sure that you are prepared enough to answer any kind of questions, and trust me, you will be good. If you have any questions about the visa interview process, anything related to anything, just comment down your question in the comment section, and I would love to answer your inquiry and make sure I'm able to help you in quick time. Have a great day. Do watch other videos of Shlok. Do follow me on LinkedIn and of course on Instagram. Goodbye. Namaste. Jai Hind.